So following the news of Chapter 15 story mode, it is going to be 13 hard mode as well too. Now 13 hard mode isn't nearly as significant as Chapter 15, mainly because hard mode maps are just there for you to farm your cog chips, right? So that's why people do it. Now, just because you want those cog chips or just because 13 is significant doesn't mean it's not like somewhat important. Some people want to challenge as well too. So here you guys have it. Now, the expected difficulty of Chapter 13 hard mode is somewhere similar to Chapter 14 in the sense that the mobs and the bosses are somewhere between 125 and 130. So somewhere between there. Reason is that because if you guys go to Chapter 12 hard, if you were to click this, let's turn off auto for this as well too. I have to adjust fleets here for the aviation. Give me 1 second. Toss an implacable here. Oh, it's anti-air, right? Okay, it's torpedo. Oh, okay. 1 second. Let's just toss that there. I'm just gonna toss in like a random DD. I don't know. Kazuguma. All right. We're gonna check the levels of 12-4 hard. It is about 124, right? So it's about the same difficulty as Chapter 13-4. So you're going to expect probably around 14-4 difficulty for Chapter 13 hard. The issue or the problem is, instead of having like a mixed amount of enemies like Chapter 14 has, it's strictly primarily going to be plane focused. Whether that's harder to you or not depends. Personally, I think anti-air like management is like one of the most difficult thing in the game, because you gotta bring carriers, you gotta bring vanguards suited to kill the planes in the air. But some people think Chapter 14 is harder because you gotta bring in like submarines and like DDs and stuff like that, which some people don't have invested into. So depends on what kind of playstyle you guys are aiming for. I will say that people that have or that are planning to do Chapter 13 hard are probably more suited to deal with that Chapter 13 or Chapter 14, because if you guys don't already know, Chapter 12 and 13 you gotta deal with planes already, so you probably invested into anti-air stuff already. Whereas Chapter 14 is like DDs and stuff. Some people don't have it invested into, therefore it's gonna catch you off guard and you're not gonna be ready for that. So I think Chapter 13 hard might be a little bit easier for some people compared to 14, but overall though still really difficult. Now, the things about Chapter 13 hard that you should be aware of is same as Chapter 13, you're going to need some anti-air stuff. But this time, the enemies are stronger, they hit harder, and they're much higher levels, so all that usual. So there are a couple of light cruisers, stuff you can bring here. I say light cruisers because light cruisers have the best anti-air in the game. A lot of good options here. If you guys don't already know, the key ship here, at least personally for me, that you guys should bring is going to be Scylla, because Scylla, stresses many times, is a very good ship to bring for your 12 and 13 experience. The reason why is because if we go down here, when this buff reaches maximum stacks, so this right here, that she shoots her main guns, increase anti-air by 25% for your vanguard ships with a lower anti-air stats than this ship for the rest of the battle. So Scylla has a lot of anti-air, right? So pretty much most ships in this game is going to get the 25% anti-air buff. You guys don't know how much anti-air buff that's going to be. Let's say a ship has 300 anti-air. 25% of that is about 75. Boom, 75 anti-air stat right there. That's actually really good. So I say Scylla is a really good ship to bring here. Personally, I'm going to bring her to my 13th hard clears. But you guys don't have to though, just a suggestion. But very good ship to bring. But if we were to go to sort, we sort by stats, we sort by anti-air. There's so many good options that you guys can bring here. Like, so the cutoff is right here because these are my regular fleets. San Diego, Juno, Reno, Cryptus, Sirius. Like, there's so many good options that you can bring for anti-air nowadays. There's just so many. A lot of these ships, the newer ships that came out this year are built for anti-air, like the Russian girl Voro. There's another ship that came out as well too that can deal with anti-air, like the Burger Sisters, we'll call them. I'll call them Matchberg. I don't even care anymore. Matchberg, Regensburg. 2 KMS sisters. If you guys are playing KMS, really, really good for dealing with chapters 12 and 13. And potentially up good for the 13 hard as well. The Yatsen got a retrofit, also really good as well too. Also has a lot of anti-air right there. 382 at 120 and not ring. Also a very, very good option. You have a lot of options, guys. Like I feel like every faction nowadays has ships that have a lot of anti-air stats, so you don't have to really care about it too much. Like Chinese has it, KMS has it now. Even IGN has it. Like a Suzu is really, really good. Like they have a lot of good stats. Whereas back then it was basically just USS ships that had really good anti-air stat. But now it's more diverse now, so any faction can do it. Any faction can do it. So if you guys are going for Chapter 13 hard mode clears, I recommend just bringing a lot of ships that have like 300 plus anti-air for vanguards. And of course, you have that one little mechanic as well too, which is called like air superiority and stuff like that. I don't know if it shows it right here, but yeah, right here, airspace control. Like the more carriers you bring, the better this is gonna be, and therefore your experience here is gonna be a much better time. Like air superiority, I think air supremacy is like the best one or something like that. But damage reduction, more damage to the entire mob stuff in general. Overall, you're better off doing this to have a much better experience. Carriers and good vanguards to have anti-air and good to go. This carries on to chapter 12 and 13 as well too. For those that haven't cleared it yet, work on those anti-air ships. Carriers. That's all I gotta say for the content stuff. I think that's the biggest news for me going forward to the anniversary stream that they had for Japan a couple days ago. Chapter 15 hard, chapter 15 story, and chapter 13 hard mode are coming out potentially. I think some people say potentially, so it's gonna come out eventually. Like they can't deny that it's gonna come out eventually. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one as always.